Greetings, my lovely pirates. This video is gonna only talk about the SP talents for our lovely demon lady, the demon fire SP lady. I hope it is short and fast to the point. We will start by taking the agility and taking some points of the constitution. Then we will go take the extra attack. We are going to ignore the HP and extra back, they're little. And we are going to take the critical damage. Then we are going to take the critical rate. We are going to take dexterity. We are going to take strength. We are going to take gunner mastery. It really depends on your season, but most of the time it's going to be gunner mastery until we actually get a better gunner on the burning ship. We are going to ignore those three stats. They are flat stats. We are going to take critical damage reduction. We're going to take critical resistance. Again, we are going to ignore the agility and constitution in here because we need those 5 points on the talent level 1. The talent that we are going to pick in here is insight. So after using a skill, the ship under the hero's command increases hero damage skill damage by 2%. This effect can be stacked up to 5 times and goes all the way until the battle ends. So basically, if you cast a skill, any skill, it doesn't have to be here, in that ship, all of your heroes are going to get 2% skill damage, and this damage is going to increase up to 10% until the end of the battle. There are another skill here called Frenzy, which is regarding the basic attack, but we don't want it because we are not using any artillery on the ship because it's a burning ship. And then we have here, when the battle begins, the ship under the hero's command increases the damage over time by 2% every 4 seconds. This effect can stack up to 10 times. This effect is again questionable. This is very questionable, but this is direct increase. Like, this hero's skill damage affects everything. It affects any skill damage, and any increase on the damage over time, because the damage over time is a skill, but damage over time is a specific skill. Okay, so in general, when you increase skill damage, you are going to increase the damage over time and the hero damage itself. We took 1 point on attack here. I believe I did this in order for me to get a 45 and I'll be able to skip to the 50. In the 50, I took critical damage. I prefer critical damage over critical. We should have shitload of critical damage, but I believe since the new update, we are now required to take the critical rate back again, other than the critical damage, thanks to the freaking armors that will have too much resist. And every person should now know by this moment how strategic damage is fucking stupid, which is why we are going to take strategic damage. This rare attributes is obviously damage reduction. It's gonna provide you a 3% damage reduction. It's 10 times better than fighting well. You need 10 fighting well in order to get 1% overall damage in your fleet, and if you have less fighting well than your enemy, it's going to be shitty. And at the same time, fighting well, it's gonna be related only to the ship. That's it. And for here, I would again go this time. I'm not gonna pick anything from here. I'm gonna go back here and take critical rate or critical damage based on your 5 points remaining if you took any of those. And then I'm gonna skip this one. Then I'm gonna take critical damage reduction, and again I will have critical resistance in here. Then I will be able to unlock the new talent. The new talent, we have now 2 new talents. When the ship under the hero's command deals damage to the wounded target, deals an additional damage of the attack. This means you are not going to get this buff at the start of the game, at the start of the battle. You are only going to get it if the enemy ship is wounded. Wounded means it's below 50% of the HP, but we are looking for this burst of damage, which means we are going to target the healthy targets. As soon as you touch them, your damage is there. Again, we can, I'm not sure how much point you will have in here, but again, if you did not have any point, which I think you will have, I really think you will have, because I think this is 5 talents, you will be able to skip this one. Again, you will take critical damage, you will take critical rate, and all of these can be taken too. If you want tankiness, you go into burning damage reduction, which is still very fantastic, like really nice. Or you can go strength if you want attack, but I prefer more survival. Again, rare attributes, we're going to take damage reduction. I think if we took both of these points, we will be able to skip these. Some people might ask me, why do you take these? Like, why do you take these attributes other than those? Because these gets multiplier. These impacts the multiplier. Anything that called extra is not really not gonna be included in the multipliers when you put the hero itself on the slot. Now we have again damage reduction. Take them. Take on water damage reduction. Both of these are very nice. I think you will be able to skip these. If you did not, you can pick up any of these. If you want an extra armor and critical, you go for the agility. If you want extra tankiness, you can go for a constitution, which is not bad. Then we will have the talent skill 3. You have here 2 skills. The first one is cunning maneuver. When the ship under the hero's commands applies burning or damage, there is a 10% chance to apply it. It goes all the way, I think, to 50%. This can be triggered once every 5 seconds. And then after the ship under deals a basic command, there is a chance you are going to do double attack. Again, it's not really that not really big deal. After the ship uses skill gains one rage, goes all the way up to 5. So I prefer cunning maneuver. Most likely it's going to be better. If you want basic damage burst, this one, but I would still prefer cunning maneuver since it's 50% chance. It's not little once you max it out. Since this one is 5 talents, again you will be able to skip those, and then again go for the critical damage, critical rate. You have here dexterity. Cutthroat damage is now one of the worst ships and damage. Maybe they are going to buff it in the future, so I prefer you just go for the dexterity, and then you will unlock the talent V4 IV. When the ship is under the hero's commander drops to 50%, increase attack by 2% for 20 seconds. This means if your ship is most likely going to drop to 50%, this means you're going to get some boost of attack. And this one, if you think that you are a whale, so basically if you are a whale, when the battle begins, you're going to get 2%, goes all the way to 10% attack. If you are a whale, this one is very nice. Or if you want burst of damage again for the first 10 seconds, because battles doesn't really last that much. They don't really last that much, which means I would take on standby other than taking this one. So I prefer this one, even though this one is going to give you for 20 seconds. But at the start of the battle, getting 10% for me is way much better. Again, since this is the 5 talents, you will be able to skip those and go directly to critical resistance, artillery damage reduction, both of these. And now we are going to go for the final skill for this season. For the final skill for this season, when the ship under the hero's command attacks, if the defense is lower than the target, the ship's impact is going to be increased. While this one, when the ship is attacked, if the attack is higher than the target, the ship damage is increased by 10%. This is something you really don't know. It depends on who you are actually fighting. But again, I'm going to take rampant firepower. So that's basically it, guys. Until they unlock more talents, I will actually discuss the rest when I go into the different seasons. That's basically it, and have a wonderful day, guys.
Rules the sea, feathers fluffed and fancy free. He's got a peg leg made of wood, and steals your lunch like a pirate should. Squall, squall, Captain Cockbird's bold, stealing crackers and maybe some gold. He's got no map, but he's got a plan to swipe your snacks and fly if he can. He's no parrot, but he's got flair.